Okay. Good morning. I'm Bob Wright, Chairman and CEO of the Palm Beach Civic Association. I call to order the 2013 annual meeting of the Palm Beach Civic Association. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Thank you. We want to thank the directors and staff of the Henry Morrison Flagler Museum for hosting our annual meeting again this year. John Blaze is the executive director. John, would you please come forward and say a few words? John? John is not coming forward. Well, we'll thank him. Thank him in his absence. I'd like to introduce some special guests we have today with us. Mayor Gail Coniglio. Mayor. Town Council President David Rossow. Town Council President Pro Tem Bob Wildrick. Councilman Bill Diamond. Councilman Richard Clyde. Councilman Michael Porcillo. Palm Beach Town Manager Peter Elwell. Public Safety Director Kurt Bluen. Deputy Fire Rescue Chief Daryl Donato. And former Palm Beach County Commissioner and Civic Association Consultant, the Honorable Karen Marcus. There are 6 chairmen emeriti of the Palm Beach Civic Association. We are sad to have lost one of our former chairmen this year. Bill Gutman passed away last summer. We're grateful for Bill's years of service and his many contributions to the Civic Association and the town of Palm Beach. I'd like to offer our thank. His widow is here, and I'd like to offer all of our thoughts for you and thank him especially for all. Other former chairmen who are here today, Steve Brown, would they please stand? Steve Brown, George Matthews, Lewis Pryor, Doyle Rogers, Stan Rumbaugh, and Harold Scott. Thank you. In addition to Bill Gutman, one of our current directors and 2 honorary directors passed away this year. Since our last annual meeting, we've lost Al Flom, our former vice chairman, treasurer, and honorary director, Herb Lee, an honorary director, Richard Johnson, the Civic Association director for many years. These dedicated men gave so much themselves to our community. Thank you very much. We're proud of our directors of the Civic Association. Their names are in your program. These distinguished men and women are talented and successful. They give back generously because they care about Palm Beach. If you are a current director of the Palm Beach Civic Association, please stand now so that we may recognize you. Thank you. Thank you. The minutes of last year's annual meeting, March 19, 2012, are found on the back of your program. Do I have a motion to approve? A second. All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you. I now call upon Ned Barnes for the President's report.
Good morning. I think my good friend John Blades must be stuck at the bridge today. I want to thank, good way to begin, I want to thank our mayor, Coniglio, for her leadership in keeping the bridge open. And I want to thank the town council too, and I want to ask you to join me in a round of applause. We laugh about it now, but this was potentially the most destructive crisis to hit Palm Beach in years, sort of like a big hurricane, and we're so glad it all worked out. But I also want to thank Lloyd Ecclestone and Bob Wright and Karen Marcus and all the members of the Civic Association who played a role in this effort. Our Bridge Committee, Lloyd and Bob and Civic Association Director Will Matthews and Brian McIver and David Duffy and Bert Manning and Sir Jeffrey Lee and Paul Leone. And I want to thank the Executive Committee members for attending the Governor's reception 2 weeks ago. And I want to thank all the Civic Association members and the business owners and the residents of town who wrote letters to the Governor and the Secretary. Our Communication Director, Mike Brown, tells me that it is impossible for us to know how many people actually forwarded our form letters, the ones that we provided in our website, or email letters on their own to the Governor and Secretary of Transportation. But we do know that over 4,000 residents viewed the bridge information on our website and in our weekly bulletins. Yesterday, the Civic Association ran an ad in the shiny sheet thanking everyone for keeping the bridge open. It said, "This success shows what can be achieved when our community works together." And I want to thank Brian McIver for those exact words. I personally think it's amazing what we can achieve when we work together in Palm Beach. There are just so many exceptional people here with so many different talents and skills and resources. It's what makes an organization like ours so unique and so effective. In addition to our Bridge Advisory Group, we assembled on short notice this month. We have volunteers across the board who are willing to step up for the good of the town. We have an executive committee chaired by our chairman, Bob Wright, that meets every month to review the important issues in Palm Beach and figure out how we can play a role that will be helpful. We have a group, many groups, but we have one group that's engaged in shore protection, a group that follows the latest developments. Now, these are people who have brought themselves up to speed. They understand things like beach management agreement and Woods Hole report and coastal management plan, things that most of us really haven't spent the time to really digest and get involved with. This year, our shore protection group became an active bunch. They joined together with the Citizens Association of Palm Beach and Lou Crampton, and because we have so much in common with that group, they hosted a bus tour of the town beaches and supported our town shore board in the long-range shore protection plan. We have another group of financial experts led by our treasurer, Pat Cooper, who analyzed the town budget this year and supported the town manager's recommendation for a small tax increase after years of holding the line. We have volunteers who work on to improve the health care in the community. Led by our director, Mike Stein, and Dr. Richard Conroy, they put on a very successful, most effective forum on Obamacare at Bethesda by the Sea Church several months ago. They went out and were able, if you can imagine this, to gather a panel of people in Palm Beach who actually read and analyzed the entire Affordable Care Act, all 3,455,000 pages. Dr. Michael Dennis, Richard Bernstein, Dr. David Dotson, Judy Goodman, Mark Nosaka. At the Civic Association, we have volunteers who are engaged in Palm Beach County issues. People who are concerned because so much of our tax dollar goes across outside our borders. And so many of the decisions that are made about the town are made at the county level. Led by Jack Borland, the group weighed in on the county budget this year. They joined the mayor in one-on-one visits with county commissioners and worked with our consultant, Karen Marcus, to find ways to be more effective in the future. At the Civic Association, we have volunteers who are deeply engaged in the redevelopment of Royal Poinciana Way. Led by our director, Mary Watkins, they attended every single meeting of the town's Royal Poinciana Way Committee, chaired by Council Member Mike Basillo, who's here this morning. They met separately with Mr. Basillo and each member of the town committee. They held a community forum to help residents understand and engage. They retained former Director of Town Planning, Building, and Zoning, Bob Moore, to advise them on the technical issues. They analyzed density and parking and historic preservation. They funded an economic study and issued their strong support for the planned unit development that is being proposed. At the Civic Association, we have volunteers who help us with membership and marketing. We have a water committee chaired by Harvey Popple. We have a public safety committee chaired by Alan Miller. We have a transportation committee chaired by Jim Ballantyne. We have a port and Peanut Island committee. Well, everyone who chairs a Civic Association committee and everyone who serves on a Civic Association, will you all just please stand for a minute? Please stand wherever you are. Please stand. We thank you for everything that you do. Thank you. Last January, after serving on the Palm Beach County Commission for 28 years, our extremely popular and effective County Commissioner Karen Marcus was forced to give up her seat due to newly imposed term limits. All of us were very sorry to see Commissioner Marcus go. But I must tell you this morning that the County Commission's loss was the Civic Association's gain. Since February, Mrs. Marcus has been working as our consultant, advising us on shore protection and Peanut Island and the Port of Palm Beach and county tax and budget issues and transportation issues. You know, we went over there to the county building, we used to get lost in those halls. But with Karen Marcus on board, we now know where to go and who to meet and what to say and how to say it. Karen, you've been an incredible resource for us, and we are so happy to have you with us. Will you stand, please, so that we can thank you and welcome you? And finally, I just want to thank Michelle Kessler and Bob Wright and our fundraising committee, Brian McIver, George Cohan, Bob Niederlander, for another very successful awards program with Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski 2 weeks ago. Excuse me. Many of you were there, and we really had a great time. It was lots of fun. We presented the Bill Brooks Community Service Award to Public Safety Director Kurt Bluen for his outstanding leadership, and an award that was well-deserved. I just want to tell you that our annual fundraiser, this is the third year we've done this, is very important to us, not just because it's a good time, but because it gives us the financial resources we need to do our job and make a positive impact in Palm Beach. All the money we receive from you who so generously supported that event, and all of the funds that you give us by your membership contributions, they help us to play a major role in protecting the quality of life we enjoy. This morning, I want to thank our staff for the outstanding job they do. Joyce Cohen, our membership director, Mike Brown, our communications director, Rebecca Malik, our office manager. I want to say a special words of thanks to my friend Pat Cooper for all his support and encouragement on a day-to-day basis, his tireless efforts on our behalf. And then I want to thank each of you for supporting the Palm Beach Civic Association, because together we are making good things happen in Palm Beach. There really is no limit to what we can achieve for our town. Thank you.
I'd like to thank personally Ned Barnes. He thanked everybody else. I'll thank him. So please. Directors of the Palm Beach Civic Association serve for a one-year term that can be renewed annually. They are elected each spring at the annual meeting. The 14 distinguished nominees for the 2013 and 14 group are listed on your program, and their bios are on your seats. As I introduce them to you now, I invite them to stand up and to remain standing. Richard Bernstein, Douglas Daft, Sam DeShield, Sean Healy, Robert Hubla, Eric Javits, Sir Jeffrey Lee, Jeffrey Levitt, Ellen Lyman, Bert Manning, Bob Meister, Mary Orsman, Mike Rader, and Christopher Storkerson. A round of applause, please, for all of them. Thank you. It's really wonderful to see the backgrounds of all these people and the people that have preceded them and preceded us. They're all accomplished people, come from very diverse backgrounds at different locations, engineers, financial people, people who have a lot of government service, people that have a lot of military service. It's quite striking. And their ability to be involved in things is tremendous. All you have to do is reach back into your history. And some of the smallest things you can do can be very helpful to us. So I'd like a motion here to have a motion to accept the nominations and the list of current directors in your program for election to the Palm Beach Civic Association Board of Directors 2013-14, and to increase the maximum number of directors in the bylaws from 120 to 130. Do I have a second? Second, please. All those in favor? Thank you. New officers and executive committee for 2013 and 14. The following slate of officers and executive committee members for 2013 and 14 will be presented to the directors meeting at their annual meeting, which follows this meeting next door. Please stand as I call your name. I'm standing, and I'm nominated for another term as chairman and CEO. Pat Cooper for secretary treasurer. Pat does an outstanding job for us. Where is Pat here? He just does an outstanding job for us. And Pat, thank you. And Ned Barnes as our president. Thank you, Ned. I will be chairing the executive committee, which includes Mike Ainsley, John Borland, George Cohan, Pat Cooper, David Duffy, Lloyd Ecclestone, Jerry Frank, Michelle Kessler, Bobby Lindsay, Will Matthews, Brian McIver, Alan Miller, Bob Niederlander, Linda Olson, Harvey Popel, Stan Rumbaugh, Michael Stein, and Mary Watkins. Would you please join me in a round of applause for these capable leaders of our organizations? Thank you. I will now call on Stan Rumbaugh, president of the Raymond J. Kunkel Foundation, for the 2013 Kunkel Award presentation. Stan.
Thank you. I was able to get from the chair to here without falling, which is a major accomplishment. Before I go into the Raymond J. Kunkel Foundation, I'd like to mention that everything that Ned said applied to the town council and their committees. I can't imagine a town where such talented people serve without pay, and I think it helps make Palm Beach what it is. So thank you all. And now the Palm Beach Civic Association Raymond J. Kunkel Award was established in 1976 in memory of the late Civic Association director and chairman Raymond J. Kunkel. The award is given each year to individuals or organizations that render heroic or meritorious service to the town of Palm Beach. This year, the Raymond J. Kunkel trustees are pleased to honor two worthy lay individuals who have made significant contributions to the community. Our award winners will each receive a plaque and a check for $3,000 as an expression of our appreciation for their outstanding efforts. I now call upon Kunkel Foundation trustees Ann Keresy and Will Matthews to come forward and present the 2013 Raymond J. Kunkel Awards. And Will, here you are. Ann is obviously the girl.
Thank you, Stan. I'm glad I was identified properly. Good morning and welcome. The first Kunkel Award goes to Brian Fuller, the Division Chief for Emergency Medical Services at Palm Beach Fire Rescue. Chief Fuller envisioned and now implements the Automated External Defibrillator, or AED program that began last year in Palm Beach. Sudden cardiac arrest claims the lives of an estimated 300,000 Americans each year. An easily accessible AED in the hands of a trained citizen is priceless in saving lives. Chief Fuller's program, called Heart Safe, encourages residents and business owners to purchase AEDs and register them with Palm Beach Fire Rescue. An electric shock from the automated defibrillator is the definitive treatment for sudden cardiac arrest. The quickness in administering the shock increases the chances to recover a normal heartbeat. Every minute without an AED decreases a victim's chance of survival by 10%. Under Chief Fuller's program, fire rescue officers come to homes and businesses to train family members and employees in the proper use of their AED and also in hands-only CPR. The registration process lets fire rescue know when it is time to replace AED batteries and defibrillation pads. Officers will return to make the replacements and also retrain people if they wish. Registration also allows dispatchers to tell the person making the rescue call where to find the nearest AED before paramedics arrive. Chief Fuller's goal is to place 1,000 defibrillators throughout the town. No community in America has a more ambitious program to prevent heart attack deaths. The vision, hard work, and caring attitude of Brian Fuller identifies him as a true lifesaver. On behalf of the Raymond J. Kunkel Foundation, it is my honor to present the 2013 Raymond Kunkel Award and a check for $3,000 to Palm Beach Fire Rescue Division Chief Brian Fuller. Chief Fuller, will you please come forward? And Brian Fuller, the town thanks you.
The second Kunkel Award goes to James Weber, a firefighter and paramedic with Palm Beach Fire Rescue. Mr. Weber's quick action may have saved the lives of 12 people aboard a sinking yacht last December. Mr. Weber was off duty and returning from an ocean dive in which he and 3 friends had filmed an underwater segment for a TV show about the wreck of a World War II bomber off of Jupiter. 4 men returned in their boat through the Palm Beach Inlet and passed a 38-foot yacht adrift in the intercoastal waterway. Mr. Weber quickly recognized that the yacht's stern was low in the water, its engines were smoking. Said that that boat might be going down. He alerted his friends, who quickly turned their boat around to investigate. The yacht was definitely taking on water and sinking rapidly. Several of the 12 men and women on board did not have life jackets. Mr. Weber and his friends quickly inflated life rafts on their boat to rescue the passengers on the sinking yacht, and a patrol boat from another police department arrived on the scene. The last passenger was lifted to safety just as the yacht sank beneath the surface of the water. All 12 passengers were returned safely to shore. They were spared a far worse tragedy because Mr. Weber quickly recognized a life-threatening situation and responded to save their lives. On behalf of the Raymond J. Kunkel Foundation, it's my honor to present the 2013 Raymond Kunkel Award and a check for $3,000 to Palm Beach firefighter and medic James Weber. Mr. Weber, come forward, please. Congratulations. Congratulations. Come on over. We've got a picture, I think. Mr. Wright, I turn the meeting back over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Will. And congratulations to such deserving individuals. Our keynote speaker today needs no real introduction. This is the 3rd State of the Palm Beach address that will be given by Mayor Coniglio. Gail is an exceptional leader who does a great job representing the residents of Palm Beach. She is thoughtful and caring. She reaches out to residents and community organizations whenever and wherever she can. She is a strong advocate for Palm Beach, both here in the community and beyond the town's borders. She builds productive relationships with elected officials and staff, and as we've seen in the recent bridge controversy, she works closely with representatives from Palm Beach County, the state of Florida, and the federal government. Gail became mayor of Palm Beach more than 2 years ago. She is beginning her 2nd term after winning an uncontested election in February. She served as town council president pro tem from 2008 to 2011 and as a council member in 2007 and 2008. Gail has lived in Palm Beach with her husband Frank and their family for more than 25 years. We look forward to hearing from our mayor today. Please join me in welcoming the Honorable Gail Coniglio.
Good morning. Thank you, Bob, for that gracious invitation. I do have a report for you today, but as recently as this morning, I was told, gee, Gail, I'm so sorry I can't be here. Here's the short form. Everything's great. Now I'll go into the long form. Thank you also to the members of the Civic Association for your ongoing commitment to engage and educate our residents on the important issues. Your mission serves to promote dialogue and community consensus, helping our town government make the tough decisions and ensure our future. My deepest congratulations to Fire Rescue members Division Chief Brian Fuller and James Weber, driver, engineer, and paramedic, for your well-deserved recognition by the Civic Association's Raymond J. Kunkel Award. Thank you, and thank all of the town employees that serve as the backbone of this community, signifying a long-standing history of cooperation, mutual respect, and friendship. It is my pleasure to be with you today to share the accomplishments of 2012 and the challenges that collectively we will tackle in 2013. Shall we start with the Flagler Bridge? With the loss of this crucial link to off-island traffic, paired with the uncertainty of safety and schedule, the bridge reconstruction quickly became a crisis. 8 days in November 2012 painted a bleak picture for the duration of the construction process, a situation that I related to Florida Department of Transportation Secretary Ananth Prasad as a town about to go postal. Complete bridge closure severely impacted the activities of our daily lives, crippling the movement of traffic, the business community, and safety. We can certainly breathe easier and celebrate the unveiling of this stupendous plan by the Florida Department of Transportation to reinforce the Flagler Bridge. Delivery of our early Christmas present, as described by Town Council President Rosso, secures safe passage for our residents, local employees, and emergency vehicles during reconstruction of the new bridge. We are profoundly grateful to Governor Scott and Secretary Prasad for their extraordinary efforts to accomplish this feat. The proposed 6-month closure for repairs will be completed at night to limit convenience and reduce risk. And while there may be a slight delay for the final date of completion for the new bridge, reopening 4 lanes will allow normal and efficient movement of traffic. Open and continued dialogue with FDOT and construction managers to avert additional anomalies will be required. But interagency planning proceeds. We are prepared for nighttime impacts and stand ready for any unexpected longer closures to ease traffic woes. Our relief due to the success of this collaborative effort with FDOT, state officials, and our own grassroots campaign show us that together we can achieve that win-win situation. Preparations for the upcoming Southern Bridge reconstruction will proceed under additional watchful eyes, which I like to parenting teenagers: trust and verify. Extensive planning in 2012 established the foundation for this year's critical decisions for determining our long-term coastal management plan. An independent review by the renowned Woods Hole Group provides both scientific expertise and political objectivity to critique the overall plan. Woods Hole is finalizing their report before commencing work with our town staff to convert their recommendations and cost analyses into a 10-year plan. Expect an update in June, but it is imperative that you remain engaged. This summer, the Town Council will labor to agree upon a coastal management plan that accomplishes the highest level of protection with an affordable price tag. The Beach Management Agreement, an initiative proposed by the Department of Environmental Protection, is currently being reviewed by a wide range of stakeholders. The draft will be finalized this spring. It will make parts of the town's 10-year plan quicker, easier, and cheaper to permit without compromising our environmental obligations. The BMA promotes certainty for projects that are considered the most conventional, yet the least controversial. It does not preclude us from pursuing projects outside the BMA, but these projects will require additional information for construction and travel the existing permitting process with both state and federal regulator agencies. Building our partnership over the last year with the DEP has been hard work, but proves that the goal of developing a better way of doing business is possible. Dedicated groundwork for improving relations with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has led to several critical accomplishments. A consistent dredging schedule for the Lake Worth Inlet, placement of sand directly on the dry beach, and an expanded settling basin to capture every last grain of sand. Last summer's massive effort to upgrade the sewer system will provide long-term benefits and save hundreds of thousands of dollars each year by eliminating our dependence on the Lake Worth sub-regional sewer system. This $15 million project was completed on time and under budget. Hats off to Public Works. Many thanks to our South Islanders for sharing the tremendous burden on their quality of life to accomplish this work. Some projects will be delayed due to remaining bridge questions, but completion of Phase 1 of our Accelerated Capital Improvement Program is planned for 2014. The construction process this summer includes quieter and smaller projects that will have very minimal traffic impacts. The Town Council will consider the project list for Phase 2 and discuss its scope, timing, and funding during the upcoming 2014 budget. The future outlook for the Royal Poinciana corridor might just be around the corner, following years of frustration and sputtering starts for solutions. The entire community excitedly awaits the opening curtain of the Royal Poinciana Playhouse. Currently, efforts to finalize the lease, raise money for improvements and renovations, and an entertainment lineup are underway. This vision will only be a reality with the support of our residents, arts patrons, and performing interests to resolve a decade of conflict and provide a wonderful on-island cultural amenity. The proposed Plan Unit Development 5 offers an opportunity for revitalization with a dedicated focus on historic preservation to maintain the character of our Main Street. Thank you to Town Councilman Michael Pasillo and his commission for their careful and methodical study, offering constructive ideas with assistance from urban and preservation experts. Next, the Planning and Zoning Commission will critique the plan's details with a final stop at the Town Council for a decisive conclusion. For the last several years, the tenor of our Town Council has been one of collaboration. Even though we may have differing strengths, perspectives, and personalities, the overriding goal to find consensus remains paramount. We work together to make painful budget decisions, often unpopular, to secure long-term financial sustainability, establishing a strong footing to address future costs successfully. So I'd like to take this opportunity to personally thank my council colleagues for their extensive hours of preparation, endless meetings, and dedication to serve. I have no doubt in my mind that each of them has the heartfelt hope that they leave this town, one town, a better place. Gentlemen, please stand up. President David Rosso. President Pro Tem Bob Wildrick. You just stand, just you. And my friend Stan Rumbaugh is my alternate council person. He gives me all of my direction. Thank you, Stan. Bill Diamond, Richard Clyde, and Michael Pasillo. Thank you. Congratulations on a job well done. Finally, And most importantly, where would this town be without you? Our friends and neighbors who call this island paradise home. I continue to marvel at your boundless level of giving. The town of Palm Beach has a standard of philanthropy that is envied around the world. The challenges during our financial distress and budget trials created a model for successful private-public partnerships that is unique to Palm Beach. Let me share just a few of these shining examples. The Worth Avenue makeover. Renovation of the Par 3 golf course accompanied by the anticipated completion of the new clubhouse. Midtown restrooms. Neighborhood projects to underground power lines. The upcoming beautification of Peruvian Avenue, and the wildly popular holiday decorations. Where else do you find this level of pride and generosity to enhance a community? Thank you for all of your passion and devotion to our town. The overwhelming desire to enrich, preserve, and protect Palm Beach perfection remains the gold standard and defines our legacy for the next generation. Living in Palm Beach means loving Palm Beach. And on that, we can all agree. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Coniglio. That was an excellent presentation. That concludes our business for the day. The annual meeting of the Civic Association Board of Directors will be held in the conference room at the back immediately following this meeting. Thank you for coming. This meeting is adjourned.